All right, guys. As the coaching circles keep turning, right? Listen, uh, Robert Salah. I know a lot of you guys really liked him a lot, and I thought he was a really good guy too. And I thought he would definitely have been one of those kind of like vocal guys. Like, of course, he needed to come in with a plan for a quarterback coach and an offensive coordinator, but I wasn't low on him. I just didn't think the Eagles would lean defensively, and that's why I didn't really include him. He signed with the Jets, man, which means the Eagles need to come on. They need. This is what I hate about taking a slow approach to this, because some of the names that are absolutely going to be good coaches will come off the board. All right, y'all. Today, I'm going to bring you guys another candidate. This is a young offensive mind. Hey, man, I like him a lot. Like, I don't know if he's ready yet, but I know his system and his scheme. It might be worth waiting for him to grow into that role because there's something here, guys. All right, y'all. I'm talking about Joe Brady. Let's get to it. What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, division rivals? This is Steven Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel, the sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever it is you get around to watching us. Once again, guys, my name is Steven Hyder, and this is Gate City Sports Channel. All right, guys, today's topic is Joe Brady. Really interesting coaching prospect to break down film on. He's very young, guys. He's like 31, like Sean McVay's age when he got the Rams job. This is a very, very young coaching candidate, and there's definitely some doubts out there solely based upon his age. I can't really speak to whether or not this guy can command a locker room or not. I don't know the dude personally, so I don't know his personality, guys. Some guys have it already by the age of 31. Other dudes will never have it even at the age of 60. We know how that goes, man. It's just different from people. I don't know that aspect of things. But what I do know is his system. And I was really impressed, guys, because what I saw was a pretty cool combination of things. So you have your Air Coryell kind of vertical passing game. They got mixed in with like your West Coast, kind of routes. So your quick ins, your outs, your hitches, all those kind of things, right? Slants, those West Coast concepts. So technically, what they call when you mix Air Coryell with West Coast offense, that the new fancy term they label that now is called the Gulf Coast offense. So technically that's what he is, but there's some pretty unique things about this young man. To begin with, spacing is what you're going to notice, guys. He spaces the field very well. So it's not just that he's just running multiple routes. Like, it's the way he's coordinating things between the depth of each route. So there's just not a lot of conflicting routes getting in each other's way. There were 5 plays in particular that, I feel like if you go to any game and you pull that game up, these are the staples of his offense, you're going to see them. The very first thing you're going to see is an old, kind of throwback to his mentor out in New Orleans. What you're going to see is the weak side option route. Sean Payton kind of taught him that, and he definitely uses it. Number 2 is a switch route. Guys, a lot of teams in the NFL run switch routes, but this guy definitely used it a lot. Number 3 is a glance route. Glance route is an old RPO kind of route. You guys are going to really like that one. I have it broken down for you in this video. He used a halfback corner route. I know what play I could lead you to see that. I didn't have enough space on my computer to load that in with everything else. I ran out of space. But if you want to see that, go to week 1, go to the Oakland game, go to the very last play, passing play of the second quarter just before half, and that's a halfback corner route. He did that a lot at LSU, by the way, too. Very good way of using scat backs. And then your 5th kind of route that he uses, it's a staple, is the 4 verts concept. I think you guys are going to enjoy this guy. In addition to that, guys, he's very much a motion guy, moves his wide receivers around. So I'm excited to bring you this, guys. Let's go ahead and let's get into it. So here we go, Joe Brady. To really illustrate this point, guys, what I want to do is show you the first play of the year for Joe Brady in this Carolina Panthers offense. Okay. They come out right away in a nice little wrinkle from Joe Brady. He comes out in 21-man personnel. So what I'll do is I'll kind of show you guys a little bit of the film as I'm talking here about 21 personnel. So when you come out 21 personnel, what you're basically talking about is having 2 running backs, 1 tight end. You add that together, you get 21 personnel. As a proxy to that, you have 2 receivers on the field, right? But the wrinkle here is look, it's an empty back set. So we're in a 2 running back set, a 21 personnel, all right? Empty back set. I mean, this is a nice little wrinkle, nice little disguise to make the defense think like, hey, man, I think I know what this is, but I'm not certain that this is what this is. So what they end up doing to them is they come out in that 3-by-2 set. Anytime I see a 3x2 set and I see a guy like Joe Brady, by the way, the LaFleur family, both the LaFleurs, Green Bay's coach and the guy that's over there in San Francisco, they like to run this play too. So you got to really be aware of some of these guys. Anytime you see that 3x2 set, which you see here with, 3 on one side, 2 on the other, you should definitely be thinking about weak side option route here. So let me point out to you who's running the weak side option route. All right, Robbie Anderson. When you're talking about weak side option route and you're talking about Green Bay, we all know it's probably going to be Devontae Adams, right? When you're talking about Kansas City, but when you're talking about New Orleans, then you're talking about guys like in the past they had Marquise Colston was a really good one to be able to run that. Then they have, Michael Thomas recently, who's a really good receiver who can run that. They're using Robbie Anderson in this one. So you can tell what they think about Robbie Anderson in Carolina. He's kind of their primary guy. So, option route. Basically, when you get an option route, guys, it's giving you several options you can take the route from. You can do an out route. You can do an in route. You can do a slant route. You can do a comeback or a hitch, right? That's the point of an option route. You have to have chemistry with your quarterback, right? That's a big thing here. And you have to read the defender. You have to know what kind of leverage the defender is giving you, right? If they're outside of you on an outside leverage, then you probably want to do an in-breaking route. If they're playing too far over the top on you, you probably want to sell a vertical route and then cut it off with a comeback or a hitch, right? If they're inside, then you probably want to break to an out route. If they're outside, then you would probably want to break to an in route, right? I mean, it's just playing the coverage, really. You can see principles of Air Coryell here. You got a vertical being built in here. You got the basically those quick and easy kind of West Coast routes that are those, basically where you got the Air Coryell going vertical. You got these guys going horizontal. So you can see all elements of this. Watch the play out here, guys. You can see Colston. Wow. You can see that Robbie Anderson is setting up the defensive back. You can see how he's trying to set him up to gain the leverage he wants. He's going right into kind of like, I would call that a slant route. So he's going right into a slant route here. Boom. Nice little pickup, nice little gain. Hey, look at the spacing on the field. Look at the creativity in the personnel, guys. Like, this is one of the staples, and it's a very, very good staple. All right, y'all, let me take you into another staple of this offense. All right, ladies and gents, now I want to take you to the second possession of the game. And here's the situation we find ourselves in. All right, it's a 3rd and 5. One of the biggest frustrations I had with Doug Peterson, I really do think Doug Peterson could scheme things open. I just think there were times where his situational awareness just left you going, what are you doing? But I definitely think his scheme worked. I just think that he was horrible in situations. One of those situations that frustrated me with Doug is when you get in these situations of 3rd and 5, I felt like your scheme and the way you're building and what you're calling, giving the situation, should probably warrant you scheming your guys open, right? Don't just hope your guys win through route running. Help them win through route running. I'm going to give you an example here, guys. The Panthers come out. This is 11-man personnel, okay? You got shotgun formation here with Teddy Bridgewater. You got empty back set here. Like I said, 11-man personnel. Look to the top of your screen. You got your running back all the way at the top of your screen. That's CMC. Look down on the line of scrimmage. You got your tight end, which is Ian Thomas. Look to the bottom of your screen, which is the field side. You got 3 receivers lined up together here. You got Robbie Anderson, you got DJ Moore, and you got Curtis Samuel. It could be argued that all 3 of these guys are pretty good route runners and can win in their routes, right? Like, that's not their issue. So he's still, though, even Joe Brady's not leaving this in their hands, right? He's going to run a switch route here, okay? He's going to run a switch route off of Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore, all right? Yes, we're still building in principles of combining the Air Coryell along with the West Coast offense here, guys, all right? There are so many different aspects of this that come open. Ian Thomas's route comes open. So I'll let it play out, guys. So you can watch here, you can see the switch route actually occur. All right? So Ian Thomas route coming off the switch route, wide open, right? Look down here at Anderson, Robbie Anderson's route, the actual switch route itself. Open. I probably would have gone to the ball to Anderson there. And then look at what he hits underneath, right, which is DJ Moore's route. Open. It's a first down. Like, don't wait for your guys to get open. Scheme them open. Like, this was some of the frustration I had with Doug. And, like, if you just look at Joe Brady's system, guys, look at the spacing, okay? Look at everything going on here about how he creates spacing, how he gets his receivers open, how he helps schedule and get them open. Like, I wish we saw more of this from Doug, guys, because I think Doug had the ability. He just didn't do it. So, all right, y'all. Let me go on into another point and show you another one of the staples of Joe Brady's offense. All right, ladies and gents. So, third possession of the football game now. We have a 2nd and 6. It's about 5:15 left in the second quarter. Carolina's going to come out in 11-man personnel with Joe Brady here, okay? So you got Bridgewater under center. You got CMC offset to his left. Look at the Oakland Raiders defense. They're giving you like kind of a cover 2 or quarters coverage, like a cover 4 kind of look here. But really what we're looking at, if you're Joe Brady and you're running the system, is you're looking at that safety. So you're looking at the boundary side safety. I'm going to draw the line, field side, boundary side, all right? So they have Curtis Samuel, who's kind of playing the role of the X receiver here, okay? So Curtis Samuel is going to be the glance option. So what this is nothing more than an RPO, guys. This is a run-pass option here. If that safety comes down into the box, you throw it. If he remains where he is, you run it, okay? This is why they call it a glance, because the quarterback is supposed to glance at what is going on with the defense. Watch what the safety does. We see what he does. So what should you do if you're Bridgewater? You pull this one out of the running back's stomach, and you hit that glance option route there. And that's what he did. This is a nice little wrinkle, still RPO. I think if you use RPOs to where they make sense, I mean, I don't think you're fooling people with RPOs on like 3rd and 15 and 3rd and 16 guys, but on a 2nd and 6 with a guy like CMC or a Miles Sanders in the backfield, yeah, running inside zone blocking schemes, I think you could absolutely fool people with RPOs given that circumstance in the game. This is what I would have, what I would love to see the next coordinator do is use these common sense decisions and use these very good staples that make sense here. Like, hey, this was a nice wrinkle, guys. I liked it a lot. All right, this fourth possession play I want to show you here. I want to admit this is a little bit of self-indulgence here, but stick with me, guys. You're going to like this a lot, okay? What I want to show you is a 4-vert concept to where everyone knows he runs 4 verts, but it's what you can do when everyone knows the play's coming, and that's what I want to show you on these next 2 plays, is how you can make these things work. So here we go. Look at this. We come out in a 2x2 set, right? Or, I'm sorry, Carolina comes out in a 2x2 set. Brady does. And I want you to pay attention to what's going on here off this 2x2 set, guys. They're selling you 4 verts, right? You can see that Oakland comes out, and they're really trying to play a Tampa 2. So they're playing that cover 2, Tampa 2 style with the middle linebacker dropping back. Generally speaking, when you use 4 verts, it's normally when you're trying to attack cover 3, okay? Because somebody's going to get left open, especially if you just kind of play it slow on one of your vertical options, let everyone kind of go back too far, then you can dump it off. It's like a dump off, but it's really like a 20-yard pass. They sell a 4 vert, and then what do, guys? Watch at the snap what they do off this 4 vert. It's brilliant. So they run the 4 verts, right? And they bring McCaffrey underneath of it on basically a little running back screen. They start pulling their linemen. Hey, man, this is coming back here and talking now, guys, this is a 2-minute drill. This is why this is important. This shows you what Joe Brady does in a 2-minute offense, like how he's trying to get the ball downfield, the concepts he's using to create space. Hey, I like it, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I know this kid is young, but the mind is brilliant here, and you can see some of this. All right, my concluding thoughts. Listen, Joe Brady's young. He uses a lot of Sean Payton's concepts, right? I just showed you 5 of his core plays from his playbook, okay? To me, his running game's a little zone-based. It's a little inside. It's a little outside zone. You'll see him run some traps. You'll see some sweeps, stuff like that. Like, he doesn't completely abandon the run, but this is not like a run-first offense, guys. I mean, quite clearly. It's clearly mixed in with concept, like what we would call the Gulf Coast offense is like the new fancy labeled word for this, but it's mixing in components of the Air Coryell, mixed in with basically components of the West Coast offense. A lot of motions and shifts, right? So, speaking of the Coryell offense, like that's one of the things that he brought in was motions and shifts coming in from the receiver. You see a lot of that in this system, guys. Some of the questions I would have, though, is like, look, if you look at Carolina's offense, like they had Curtis Samuel, they had DJ Moore, they had CMC, right? They had Robbie Anderson. I think we have talent in Philly, man. Don't get me wrong, guys. I think some people are sleeping on some of the talent we have here. Like, yes, the Rager's season was disappointing compared to what we expected to happen, but there's talent there. Like, if you really watch the film on Rager, he's got talent, guys. Like, I expect a much better sophomore season. I expect him to be more of a focal point. I think that there's talent with Quez Watkins, guys. I think there's talent with Fulgham. I'm not giving up on Fulgham. I saw talent there. Like, a guy like that dominated for a 3 or 4 week stretch. Like, there's something there with this guy. Like, not to mention, you hire Joe Brady and you're sitting there at the 6th pick, or what happens if you trade back? You trade back if someone really wants to go up to the 6th pick to get a quarterback. You trade back to, I don't know, somewhere between 9 and 12. And you still end up getting one of these receivers, a Jamar Chase, right? You still get one of these guys like a Devontae Smith. One of these guys slips. Guys, there are so many receivers in this draft that can make an impact. It's not funny. Like, I personally am not a huge proponent of going and getting another first-round receiver again. I still think you should take a receiver in this draft, just because I think it is a relative strength of this draft. Once again, is going to be receiver. So you should definitely probably take one. But I don't know if unless the right guy falls into your lap, I wouldn't do it. I think you need to be more defensive-minded in this draft. But given this system, given this offense, like, I'm not lying to you guys. I'm tempted. I'm tempted because we could use it. I think we could also use a running back, guys. I think we could probably use some time and spend some time on one of our picks with an offensive lineman as well. Like, I do think that you can't completely go away from offensive side of the ball in this draft, but defense should be your priority. With that said, guys, I mean, I like Joe Brady. I think this guy would be pretty good in Philadelphia. But I want to know, what do you guys think? Like, do you think he's too young? My thing is if you wait on him, guys, you're probably not going to get him. Like, somebody else is going to get him in the next year or two. Like, and I'll be honest with you, I'm almost curious if he's going to make it through this round without being claimed by somebody, because I think the guy's well worth the wait for the development, because his system is good. I don't know what he's going to be like in front of guys. He's 31. I can't predict that. I don't know what his presence is. That's my issue with Kafka, but we'll get into a separate video. Is I'm not too sure about Kafka's like personality and presence, although I believe he's very good at scheming things, and I think he's a good quarterback coach. But we'll see, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this. All right, y'all. See you on the next video. Oh, yeah, if you want to support the channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm horrible at saying that, guys. I'm sorry. All right. Peace. I'm out.